I'm surprised to hear about all these negative reviews and people making fun of Hellboy because a couple of months ago, y'all like, oh, there ain't no Hellboy. That's a hell man right there. Shit, he looking good.
Sorry. I interrupt.
On the contrary, you've arrived just in time.
Even forgot about your geek crush out there, old Guillermo del Toro. You don't like my monsters? They say, no, they look. They don't look that good. Hell no. Because your monster kind of they looked at this and they said, now this is what we talking about. This one got hair on his chest. Mm-hmm. He's got a little darker tone to him. Don't look like no goddamn Jolly Rancher with horns on it, like. Like that cartoon devil that you had out there, that Hellboy you got, all that red rubber on there. No, y'all turned on Guillermo real quick, talking about how now we getting the real Hellboy. It took a few years, but he's here now. Mm-hmm. And that's this is Hellboy 2019. The other one we were looking at Hellboy 2004
and 2008
with the Golden Army, and a lot of people are saying, sure, Guillermo del Toro did a great job as far as being faithful to the comics. Now, who's the creator? Mike Mignola?
Mike Mignola.
Yeah, they say Guillermo, he did it with the tone of the comics, some of the same story arcs that they had in their designs, stay faithful to the look as much as he could. They say, yeah, man, there's two things missing. I tell you, that hairy chest and that grittiness, man. You know what? The thing is, you toned it down to still appeal to the kids. And I mean, his name is Hellboy.
Right. Bring some hell.
Yeah, he ain't supposed to be out there trying to entertain the kids. He's supposed to be out there ripping people apart, bringing hell, Martin. Raising hell, tearing people apart, blood splattering all over the screen, limbs all over the set. I don't want this kid shit. I'm a man.
If it's not gruesome, then just keep it.
They also had, for this, which this is rated R, Hellboy 2019, besides the look and the design and the grittiness of it, the R rating, which promises a lot of gore, a lot of blood, a lot of torn limbs, cursing, a few F-bombs here and there.
Sure.
You also have the director, who should be able to handle all this. It's Neil Marshall, who did The Descent.
Please, is there anybody there?
I'm here. You call?
You rang.
This was the movie where we had a bunch of women go spelunking. Go into a cave. Mm-hmm. It turns out that when you know it, that the bunch of rocks fall, there's a cave in, and they just have to be stuck in there with mutant bat creatures.
See, I could have told them.
Yep. And that was not only was that a rated R and bloody horror film, it was kind of smart. It's a lot of people liked it. Now, not everybody likes the movie, but a lot of people say they admire this whole thing of women being able to go down and make a horror movie out of these women turn on each other while surrounded by creatures. He also directed, they say, one of the best episodes of Game of Thrones, Blackwater. That's the one where I guess we had
the big battle.
Tyrion. He blew up, found the dragon's fire or whatever, and dragon ooze, and blew up a bunch of ships. They say, he was the director of that episode. They say, so you got a guy who knows fantasy, knows horror, knows how to direct a rated R movie.
So what went wrong?
Well, I don't know, Martin. Did it go wrong? I don't know what's going on. That's the people out there. I speak for myself.
Okay.
You
were listening to the people. I just wondered if they said.
No, Martin, I ain't picking on this boy like all these other people out here. I'm sitting down. I said, come on, man. Baby, come here. Talk to Uncle Corey right here. Tell me what's the problem? People bullying you? You know what? Show me your trailer. Give me a ticket to your movie. Let's see what the problem is. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. He did too. Man, I ain't paying for. Okay, all right. What you say? All right, let's take a look at this trailer right here, and we'll be back with our review.
We belong together, you and I.
I'm a Capricorn and you're f***ing
this ain't nothing but Underworld cross with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is so goofy. This is, and that's the problem with this, man. It can't figure out what it is. If you hear people complaining about this, because when I say goofy, not just kind of as a side comment. No, I'm sure that they were kind of going for that with their humor. But when you do the kind of humor that they're doing here, which is like those Harry Potter ripoffs or, those movies that were trying to cash in on Harry Potter, like this is like Percy Jackson, as if it was still made for kids, and they decide to like throw in blood and guts and cursing. Because all the blood in here and all the gore is really not that necessary. It's really
you're dealing with demons. You gotta bring it to show you mean business.
I can tell you already like this. I tell you right now. I mean, and I understand. I'm gonna let you have it. I ain't trying to go against you. You and Hellboy, y'all keep chilling, man. But this is, it's a lot of nonsense going on. There's a lot of action, and that's why the gore and the blood and everything seems to me really unnecessary, because watching it, it's like if there was a stronger story there, wasn't so much frantic business going on, so much action that is not really clear. Like the action itself, I will say there's a lot of cool action in here. From the standpoint of just watching a bunch of monsters get together and demons, watching them just slice and dice and beat the shit out of each other, that's cool. Especially if you have a black metal concert, you just want to put it on behind you or something.
Yeah, I kept all through this movie. I was like, man, why aren't y'all just playing Death Clock?
Yeah,
through half this movie.
Yeah, because that's all it is. It gets to a certain point where the story kind of takes a back seat just for them to like do the adult stuff.
I wouldn't say it takes a back seat. It's more like it's in the trunk.
Okay, I was about to say. I was like, Jesus, this guy, I'm a fucking. I was like, if you say something one more goddamn.
I should have let it go, man. Because your forehead was throbbing.
I was like, all right.
Well, now, slow down.
I was like, this is not, you acting like this is your fucking boyfriend now or something. I mean, this, look, they did well with their budget of $50 million, but everything that was going into this to make it look cool, it all went into those posters. If only the movie could be as badass as these posters that we're looking at. And I'm looking at Guillermo del Toro's film right here. Because I'm gonna let you say what you're saying about this taking like going to the trunk. Shit, they told the shit. They stopped the car and said, "Get out," and they just left without it. There is no story here. It's almost like they're just having a good time with their. It's one of those movies where they are happy to have an R rating, and they just have fun with it, and they do that over anything else that is, granted, promising in the film. Mm-hmm. You were saying, sir.
Oh, yeah. It's the thing I will say about the story on a positive note is that I understood it. There was never a point where I was lost in what was going on. I just felt like it's just kind of not that ambitious. And when it is, it gets a little silly. Not so much roll my eyes, but just more like, all right, it's kind of a pastiche of a lot of generic sword and sorcery stories with Hellboy in it.
Yeah, and hey, listen. Martin just said, "I ain't like your dumb ass." I understood it.
I didn't hear you say that you didn't understand it.
No, there's a story there, but it's what I mean by
it's not strong.
It's muddled. It is muddled. It's not strong, and that's too bad because I'm gonna tell you, whatever you feel about Guillermo del Toro's 2004 version of Hellboy.
To stand against them.
There are things that go bump in the night, and we are the ones who bump back.
He made sure he cared about his characters enough to where he wanted to make sure that Hellboy felt like a character. He had these creatures in there, and he loves them so much that they almost have more humanity than the human characters in there. I think. When you see his movie, like I'm not crazy. I'm one of the few people that's not crazy about the Hellboy films. I think they're all right. I didn't hate them, but I don't. I still think the stories are kind of silly, and Guillermo del Toro knows that. But at least he made his characters feel like characters. They didn't feel like something that were in service to just play with a bunch of grossness and creatures. Because that's what this movie is. It's just at best. It's just a B-movie creature feature where you just watch things. It's like watching the 60s Godzilla.
Oh, yeah, that's actually a good...
Where they're not good stories, but you're just watching these, you're just watching the fight. You're just watching from a visual standpoint.
Right, but when you talk about the potential, it is there. They do talk amongst each other. They just don't say a lot that's significant or that's not directly, exposition of what's going on.
It's bad when you can't tell when something's being done on a B-movie level and they're taking it seriously or they're not. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's going on. I mean, these are professionals. So, when these people are doing the line, they're doing their jobs. Mia Jovovich, she's one of the worst characters in the movie, but she got a job to do. She does it to the best of her ability, but she's got nothing to work with. I'm evil. I'm an evil witch. Really, it's some take over the world shit. That's all.
Yeah.
People piss me off and I'm mad and I'm going to take over the world. It's almost like, she says, I've been in a box for thousands of years. And now I'm mad. I'm gonna take over. And I'm just like,
I'm coming out.
Yeah. And it's like, if you've been in a box for over 1,000 years, why don't you just be cool?
Yeah, right. Yeah, think about what got you in there in the first place.
Why don't you enjoy all the new shit that we have in this world that you didn't have
cell
before?
Phones now and the internet.
It's like, why are you mad? But the people you mad ain't even around no more. That fake British accent. I've been locked up for thousands of years, and now I've come back to bring a new world, the apocalypse. And it's just like, why? Go get a Starbucks. Sit your ass down.
You sound like me always asking that question.
Yeah. We got so many good things right now.
If you just chill and look around you.
There's a sushi place right across the street. The Starbucks is right next to it. Go do some yoga. We got a lot of good shit. You don't have to do this. Well, you know what you're going to do? You're going to turn the world back into something shitty. All these modern things we got here, you want to turn it back to rocks and goblins. Come on. Even she don't know. Why you doing this? I don't know. Because the script told me to. It's not like I hated this because there were some things that were promising. Now, when y'all take Rotten Tomatoes and you see that it's got like 11%, and you think like, oh, this is the worst movie out there. It's just some people who are just like, it's just not that good.
Man, I read through those reviews and the vast majority of the hated ones are the ones where people were like, well, it's not the Guillermo del Toro movies. All right, it never measures up to those. Those are great. I love those. So I'm like, well, if you don't love those, then this ain't all that bad.
Yeah, it's almost like, did Guillermo del Toro write these? Right. I actually read one review where it said, it's not me. Wait a minute. David Harbour as Hellboy. He might not be the straight up Hellboy that people even read in the comics. I never read it because honestly, he's more of a stoner. The way he plays this.
I thought of him more as a metalhead. But maybe it's the haircut.
Let's split the difference. A metalhead, stoner.
Okay.
They kind of go the same.
Yeah.
He's just a guy like, because he's even like, I like the way he played it like that. Look, it's just a version. You're not going to want the same version because he is likable in it because he doesn't want to hurt anybody. And the thing is, he's just a big old kid, man. Even down to the point where like, oh, Dad, what are you doing in my room, Dad?
Yeah.
But that is one of the things that I did like about this. The movie's not that good. What you heard out there, maybe not to the degree that some people are talking about, but no, it's not that good. It's a mess. This shit is all over the place. There are articles out there that are talking about, and they denying it like, no, that did not happen like you read. Bullshit. You don't get a movie this messy unless something was going on, because it feels like it was making so many different movies at one time. I'm looking at this on The Wrap. The Wrap is talking about how they talk to people. Now, we don't know for sure because it's all been denied, but the producers, there's Neil Marshall, the producers came onto the set. They say that they would actually change things while he was directing, come in and talk over him in front of people and the actors to direct. They got in an argument over how a tree should look that took a long time to settle. Should it be symmetrical or asymmetrical? They decided on symmetrical. Neil Marshall said bullshit and snuck in an asymmetrical tree. He planted a fucking tree just to spite people, but he wouldn't even at the premieres for this.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's disavowing his his name.
Yeah, I mean his name's on there, but he's like, this is a mess. I don't want to do. I'm just tired. I'm done. I'm done with this. There were other reports that David Harbour was walking off the set.
And all that makeup and prosthetics. He's down at Subway.
I'll be in my trailer. They were talking about. Yeah, can you see him just walking down the street, calling an Uber? You're not gonna fit in here, man. Yeah, they were talking about how Ian McShane and David Harbour were changing the script. I don't know if this is true or not. I will say that
that's typical for actors to do that. If they go like, it would read better for me if I do it this way.
And you know what? They did say here, to be fair, they said that doing that is something that happens all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it makes me suspect anybody who would report that.
Rewriting certain scenes of a movie during production is customary in the entertainment industry, including by actors, producers, writers, and directors. That's a quote from that article right there.
Exactly.
But again, I don't know, because I definitely could see it. The movie's a mess. I definitely can see that. But one of the things that worked in here was, for me, that I haven't seen Hellboy in a long time, and I've seen Hellboy a couple of times years ago, like on TV. I haven't seen the Golden Army in years.
Yeah.
The first time I saw it was that one time, so I can't really say for sure that my criticism here is valid. But and maybe you remember, I don't know, but I don't remember the father and son relationship being all that strong in those movies. I know he had his father, but here, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I will say here, I did feel it a little bit more. I really did feel like a father was raising a big
Hellboy.
Demonic teenage son.
Right. And it's like, hey, look, there's some things I can't tell you. Just
They've requested your assistance with a giant problem.
Well, what's that?
Giants.
They should have just had Hellboy going, old dad. He actually told a dad joke. And Ian McShane, boy, Ian McShane doing nothing but being Ian McShane these days.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna Shane it up. He ain't doing nothing. You won't.
Well, he didn't call anybody a cocksucker.
No, he did not. And it's funny because in this movie he could have. Of course, he's not gonna talk like that in front of his son. Get up, you cocksucker. I like that Hellboy they have in there. A little bit of a stoner, too much for me because his humor wasn't always working. The jokes were not all. That humor was so bad. By the time he made one of your puns at the end,
That's right. He did.
I said somewhere Martin he's giving us a standing ovation.
No, I didn't. Well, the only reason is because in the middle of saying it, even he kind of paused, like, I don't even want to say this, but I'm committed to the bit now. There's nothing else you would say in this point right here.
And the ending, this is where I really felt bad about the movie, because by the time they got to the ending, we're talking about like your last 10 minutes of a climax. It really did go down to a point where it was just about ripping people apart. They kind of forgot about the story. I don't know what was happening, so maybe I didn't know what was going on. Creatures just popped up out of nowhere. Also, they could just show you people getting sliced up, people getting their skin pulled off alive, people getting eaten alive, squished.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
Yeah, it's cool if there's something to work with. By that point, I was just like, I'm checked out.
It's not cool in as much as how it doesn't really connect to everything else, but just a scene by itself, the design of the demons I thought was good.
Yeah.
And just the way they were killing people, I was like, just isolated on its own, this right here, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, they just walking down the street, just people in their hands.
Yeah, they just enjoying it.
Yeah.
just being assholes about it.
But
they are demons, so.
Yeah, but at that point, it was just out of nowhere so much that I just could not really get invested in it. It just seemed gratuitous. Like I said,
it totally was.
For me, I don't even mind gratuitous violence and sex if it means something. If it's just there just because they are playing with the R rating and it's in no real context.
Well, if it means something, then it's not gratuitous.
No, I've seen things that I've seen things where they've taken it a little too far, but it did come back to something.
Sure, but then it's not gratuitous. Then it means something.
No, because you didn't have to go that far.
Okay.
Believe me, I've seen some things where it's like I can let this slide, but you didn't have to do all that. Just saw short. I told you about where I thought it was a cool idea, but I didn't have to see this girl running around her titties all over the place.
Yeah.
Gratuitous, but still wrapped itself back around to something. This did not do that. This felt like we are just here to show you violence for violence because we can, because it looks cool to us.
I'd been told how this is going to be some old bullshit, and watching it, I was kept waiting for that point, and I was like, yeah, I can't really say this is good necessarily, but I don't know. I've seen bullshit or things that hurt, and I'm making it through this okay. Hellboy is a character I've just never liked. I've just never warmed up to him. I mean, he's a demon, so I go, oh, cool. So he's a son of a demon. What's his powers? What does he do? Well, no, he's a big guy that punches things and shoots things, and cracks jokes. I'm like, oh, well, I already had Arnold Schwarzenegger to do that. He's not really bringing anything to the table. What makes this a mess is how the tonal shift, just what it does to your eyes, the shift in whether we're gonna be funny, whether you're gonna be ultra serious, we're gonna be violent.
I don't fall for a whole group of people saying something's bad or it's good because I don't want to have my biases swayed either way. But having seen it, it is such a film that does not know what it wants to be. Mm-hmm. It's such a film that can't decide what tone it wants to do. The humor in this is almost on the level of a family film. I like people out there. I don't think that it is the worst thing. I really don't think it's some old bullshit either. But it really is almost there. It is a like the last movie we reviewed. It is a low rental. It is something where I think you don't even need to. If you flipping channels, you don't even need to stop on there. You're gonna see somebody get sliced up and get killed, and then at that point you can move on, man. Ain't nothing there gonna tell you anything.
You know, you're not wrong about any of it. And the biggest thing it has in common with the Del Toro movies is that we're 3 in now, and not one of these movies has made me want more Hellboy. It's when they've been done, I've been like, all right, well, I hope y'all enjoyed it. If not,
yeah, there are some moments in here that I actually think are pretty cool, like straight out of like an anime almost.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. A lot of that stuff is in there, and yet character-wise, I don't come away feeling like, oh, there's more to these characters. I want to see their continuing story. It's like, all right, you showed me what you got.
Yeah. The Walking House. We're done. I hate when artists put that
when they put something cool like that in there, and it's a throwaway.
Yeah, that's what I hate, when artists give something really visionary to something and you put it to the backside for all the other dumb things in the film.
Yeah.
For all the other just basic bland things like that you're playing with, childish almost. We're gonna like overlook that for blood and gore.
Yeah, it's an unenthusiastic. No, it's more of a low rental, because it is one where I was like, at the time I was like, but the more I look back at it and think back to it, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to watch this again, and I wouldn't tell anybody to. It could have been worse, but it didn't leave me with the feeling of, you know, if you gave them one more chance, I bet they'd get it right. I bet they won't.
No, it gave me a feeling, no, stop this now.
Did you notice how in the big action climax when they take over London, how much it felt like The Mummy?
Yeah, The Mummy with more blood. Mm-hmm. That's it. I'll end it with this, but that's it. That's what I'm thinking, man. The original 2004 film, Hellboy, because it was PG-13, it fit the tone of the film.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the things I can give it. You know, they knew the material they were working with, and they knew that it was, you know, it didn't need that edge on there.
But
so
you guys wanted edge, so now you got it.
Yeah. And now look what
couldn't be happy.
Yeah. Look at all that blood in your hair and shit. What it got you? I'm looking stupid now. My eyes. No, let it sting.
No, open them up.
Let it sting a little bit. All that blood in your eye. You wanted it? Lick it. Lick your fingers. Eat them guts.
Now you got it.
You wanted it.